I love Sparking Zero. This game is absolute peak. Like, I'm not even glazing. Like, this game is actually legitimately a great game. And if people can't see what this game is for what it is, then I don't know what to tell you, man. Yes, I know there are a lot of issues with the game. Every single anime game or just video game that comes out, there are going to be issues, especially with an anime fighting game like this. Lots of issues happen at launch. They've corrected a lot of them, and I don't think people are really giving Bandai and Spike enough credit when it comes to the actual patches to improve the game and get feedback about the game. Yes, I know there are things that a lot of people still want. More stages and more customization and all that great stuff. Yeah, eventually I think we'll get it, but I think it's good that they are focusing on trying to fix up the main core gameplay and mechanics, and even balancing things as best as they possibly can in order to appeal to most of the players who are still playing the game. Okay, a lot of people that still play the game right now, they do play for the most part ranked mode or go online with friends and everything. So it is good that they are in tune with the community for that aspect. Okay, again, this video isn't being made to just completely glaze the game, as people love to say all the time. If you say one bad thing about the game, you are a hater straight up. There's no in between. If you say one good thing about the game, you're glazing this shit, because this game is fucking garbage, right? It's absolute trash, right? Like, it's ridiculous. People see only black and white in this world, and I think that's absurd. There's always an in-between. There are nuances here. If you're gonna have a discussion about something, especially a video game like this, you gotta talk about what's good and what's bad about it. And for the most part, I would say that that's what I've tried to do throughout all these discussion videos that I've done. I've done definitely a lot of videos more leaning towards criticism for this game, because I want to see the game do better, because I love this game. So basically, I'm really just wanting to make this video because there's been a lot of negativity and a lot of unnecessary hate, I would say, for this game more recently. There are things that are, good for criticism. Again, like I've said, criticism is good for a video game or just anything in general, because if you do like something, you want to see it do better. And if there are issues, you got to point out the issues so that there can be, improvements being made, right? So this video is just more of, hey, let me tell you what I like about this game. Okay, again, it's not glazing. It's just, genuine. Like, there are genuinely good things about this game, right? You can't sit there and say that this is a bad game. Like, if we go to the ratings of this game overall, okay, and I'm not saying that this reflects everyone's opinion or anything, but this is going to give you, a general idea of how people who bought the game feel about it. Okay, and despite what you see online, okay, the vocal minority is always going to be the ones that are either hating or giving a lot of negative feedback for something. Okay, but there are people out there that still play the game to this day. If you go on Twitter and look at some clips and everything, there are people who are still enjoying it, right? At least the people who do post stuff on social media and everything. So this game has sold over like 5 million copies or whatever. As far as we know, there's probably going to be more. I think it sold like 2 or 3 million in like the first few days, which is like still insane to think about. And again, copies being sold doesn't, reflect how good the game is, or if the game, is overall positive. But look at this, okay? Overall ratings, they're very positive, okay? A 94% rating here of people who like the game, okay? It's got a 9 out of 10 on Steam. Metacritic gave it an 81%. IGN, who gives a fuck about what IGN thinks? But in all seriousness, like, this game overall, about a 4 out of 5. That's really fucking good, okay? And again, there are issues with the game, and they've improved a lot overall for this game. So I think Sparking Zero right now, in terms of the main core game, it's in a very good place. Okay, I was on a Twitter space the other day talking with a group of people who play Sparking Zero and like the game, or at least are fans of the series and fans of Dragon Ball, right? And everybody did have some great opinions on it, and for the most part, everybody who was in that space did say that Sparking Zero is in a pretty good place 6 to 7 months after release, which I absolutely agree with in terms of the actual core game. Okay, I'm not talking about any added content or just content in general. Again, we've only been getting characters, new characters. There have been no customization or stages or new modes or anything other than that extreme raid boss whatever mode, which unfortunately is still nothing on that mode. We had it until it was like the end of March, and I wish it would come back, honestly, because at least it gives you something extra to do. But other than that, like the game, I think it's in a good place. And again, don't look at Steam charts like, oh, it keeps decreasing or whatever. Again, you can get a general idea of the player base for it, but overall, like the game itself, I think is in a better place than it was on launch. You know what I mean? There can always be improvements to be made, absolutely, but we'll see what happens in the future, okay? There is still a bright future for this game if they keep taking feedback and they start adding more things that people have been asking for. I think this game would be, you know, it has the potential. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but it has the potential of having a Cyberpunk, you know, revival, right? That game, when it launched, it had so many issues. And then, you know, over time, they finally did, you know, a lot of stuff for it to get a revival. And I think after that Cyberpunk anime came out, it really did help push for that revival. You know what I mean? Maybe we need Dragon Ball Super Season 2 in order to push that. So the first thing I wanted to talk about that I absolutely love about this game, and I think a lot of you can agree, is the fucking massive roster, okay? I feel like people focus too much on what they don't have, and they're not acknowledging what they already have been given, right? I think it's absolutely fucking crazy that they gave us over 180 playable characters at launch. And yes, I know a lot of them are Goku and Vegeta and Gohan and Trunks transformations, but there's still a ton of characters. I don't know how many there are with, you know, transformations excluded, which, again, transformations, they still make the character feel different, you know, for the most part. You're getting different attacks, okay, different animations and stuff, right? And it's all part of how the Tenkaichi series always was. They have always counted transformations as part of the roster. So I think there's like 181 or 182 characters at launch. Again, they gave us GT, they gave us movies, okay? OG Dragon Ball is really, truly, honestly, the only one that's suffering. And yes, maybe you could count Master Roshi if you want to count Chaozu, Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, if you want to, I guess. But those aren't really, you know, truly OGs, like exclusive. You know what I mean? They've been in the series for a long time, okay? And yes, I know Tao, he was in Z for like a filler episode, but Tao, for example, was a character I believe that was in the original first Budokai Tenkaichi. So I was very surprised that he didn't make it in. Demon King Piccolo didn't make it in. And even Chi-Chi, I think, would have been a great addition, okay? Arale would have been really cool as well. But again, I don't know. I don't think, for me personally, I was like really expecting her. Like if she got left out, which she did, unfortunately, I'm not losing sleep over it, but she would have been a cool character to have because, you know, it's more gag characters are always fun, like, you know, Hercule and shit, Yajirobe. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. We only have Teen Goku as the only OG Dragon Ball representation, like officially in the game. If you go and you sort it by OG Dragon Ball, by the saga or the series, it's the saddest shit ever. He's the only one in it. But other than that, like, this roster is huge. Again, yes, I know Super 17 isn't in it. There are some DBS characters that we thought were going to make it in it that didn't make it in. But overall, the roster, you're never going to get a Dragon Ball game roster like this fucking ever. Okay, for a fighting game, at least, like, we're not counting like Legends or Dokkan, right? Those are games that constantly receive updates and shit. So they're always going to have new 15 different versions of Goku and Vegeta, even crazier than what Sparking Zero has, right? But this you know, beats out Xenoverse 2, for example, which, with all the DLC and everything, I still think Sparking Zero far exceeds what Xenoverse 2 has in terms of DLC. And obviously, this game completely just destroys the Tenkaichi 3 roster. Again, Tenkaichi 3 had certain characters that this game doesn't have yet, but I'm just saying, like, it still has more characters overall because they added a ton of new, you know, characters from like Dragon Ball Super for the most part. And I think the roster overall, the choices that they made for it, I think were solid enough to the point where, you know, it's not like I feel like there hasn't been a character for me personally that was left out that I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe, like, it's the end of the world. Not really, but the only character that I think is really surprising is they left out Super 17 and maybe Demon King Piccolo, right? Because it's like Demon King Piccolo, he's kind of like I would say the face of Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball's like villains, in my opinion. You can disagree with me. Super 17 isn't as popular as the other GT villains, so I get why if they were going to leave any of them out, it would have been him. But we make the joke like, oh, Frieza Soldier 37 made it in, but Super 17 didn't, right? And people will make the joke, oh, how is Pansy in and Super 17 isn't? Yes, I know Pansy is Dragon Ball Daima. She's a recent character for the series, so it makes sense for why they were at him. But it's just like, it is kind of funny if you really think about it, because it's like, wow, Super 17 still isn't in the game yet. You know what I mean? But other than that, phenomenal roster, best roster in any Dragon Ball fighting game that we've ever received. You cannot disagree with that. You just can't, right? It's huge, right? It's massive, okay? Moving on. The overall gameplay, even at launch, I very much enjoyed this game, okay? I didn't go on ranked. I still haven't gone on ranked. If you look at my profile, I have zero matches on ranked, 0 wins, 0 losses, 0 fucking everything. That's why they called it Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I was staying true to the game's name, you know what I mean? But no, in all seriousness, the gameplay, it did have issues, like I said, at launch. You know, there were some things about it that, like, the combos, the pacing of everything, it just wasn't as fast as the OG Tenkaichi. They definitely improved that after many updates and everything. Right now, I feel like I said, it's in a good spot. Combos feel tighter, everything feels good, for the most part, right? So overall, gameplay is great. We have beam clashes, okay? We do have, in a sense, stage destruction. Not really to the extent that I was thinking. Like, we have the stage destruction mainly for its, like, what? World Tournament and then Planet Namek, I think. Yeah. And that's, like, it, I think. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought all the other stages were going to have that as well, but unfortunately, I guess they just don't. They really wanted to keep it exclusive to only a few of them. So, I don't know, maybe in the future that'd be cool, but it's still there. We still have some stage destruction. Again, we got our beam clashes. Xenoverse 2 doesn't even fucking have that, right? You have about 15,000 different types of clashes, which are kind of cool. I suck at them. I'm horrible at them, and I never win them, but I'm just saying those are in there as well. You know, you have all the crazy new, not crazy new, but like the new gameplay mechanics, like the super perception or whatever, beam deflection, or beam perception. Is that what I guess you would call it that? But yeah, that has all the new fancy stuff that was obviously present in like the Raging Blast games and everything. But OG Tenkaichi, right? Like, it was, the way that I played this game was more like OG Tenkaichi. I kept it very simple. It was just like combos, specials, you know, and not a lot of defensive options for me personally. And I still play like that in like any game. I love to just go in, right? So when I'm playing with like buddies or like my brother, for example, like that's like the way to go for me. And that's why I think my experience is just a lot more enjoyable compared to a lot of people who, for example, go on ranked and then you see a lot of like weird defensive play options or just spam and just cheese and all that shit, right? Like, if I'm gonna play this game, I'm gonna play the way I fucking want to play it, and that's in my opinion, that's the right way. It's like the OG Tenkaichi days. Like, you're sitting on a couch with your friend, or you're sitting on the floor with your friend or whoever else with your opponent, and you have them there physically present. Like, nothing beats that, you know what I mean? So yeah, now I would say gameplay has definitely improved a lot. It's looking good, and hopefully we see improvements on it. But yeah, gameplay, like, it makes me feel like I'm in Dragon Ball. Like, this is the definitive Dragon Ball video game experience, in my opinion, right? I think Fighters is great. I love Xenoverse 2. Xenoverse 2 definitely feels more stiff, so I can't really say it's definitive. Still a great game. Very much love Xenoverse 2. Fighters, I don't know. It's a great game and everything, but like, obviously I know how they've made it function. Like, you can't fly in that game. Okay, you have like a Dragon Dash thing, but like, there's no actual like flight. I'm flying around in a 3D arena fighter. That to me is how a Dragon Ball game should be, in my opinion. Okay, you can disagree with me, but I think they did very good on it, and it's very enjoyable. Like, when I play this game, I feel free. So, next thing I like about this game a lot, the fucking sparking episodes. Story mode itself, yes, I'm not a big fan of how there's, you know, the motion capture cutscenes, okay, which are better than a lot of the cutscenes, which are not really cutscenes, they're just slideshows. I was a bit disappointed by that. I thought there were going to be a lot more, you know, actual cutscenes. But the motion captures, I mean, it's better than nothing. It's conveying what I need to see, so it's not a big deal. Overall story mode, I did enjoy it, right? I didn't like, oh, this fucking sucks. Like, this is the horrible shit I've ever played in my entire life. No, it was still fine. It was still good. But the sparking episodes, peak, bro. I wish we got more of these, right? A couple of that I can name. Obviously, everybody's favorite for the most part is probably Gohan Black because it's like the most unique. You got a whole ass new character created, you know, just for this this Gohan sparking episode what if story, what if scenario. Like, what if he, you know, Zamasu took over Gohan's body instead of Goku's body? That was a fan fucking thing for years, right? So this was like the coolest shit ever, and it was done very well. It was pretty much kind of what I expected it was going to be for the most part, but it was just a lot of fun for the most part. Obviously, the Trunks and Vegeta team up in Tournament of Power. I've wanted to see that for so long, and they did it, right? And it was awesome. I loved it. They destroyed Toppo. Like, it was sick. And then another great one was Goku going early, Super Saiyan early during the Saiyan Saga. Another crazy what-if scenario that, you know, a lot of people have, you know, done, right? Fans have done. And, you know, there's still a lot of good ones out there as well, but those are the three that, like, that are very memorable to me, right? So, man, I just, like, the only problem with this is just, like, we just don't have new ones. I want new ones. Like, if they added new sparking episodes via DLC, I would fucking pay for that shit. I don't care, bro. Another $70 I'll pay for it. You know what I mean? Like, not, okay, obviously not, but like, you know, $10 for a couple of new sparking episodes, I'll pay for that shit. Dog, bro, give it to me. And then, of course, another thing I love is the bonus battles. I'm not huge on making them just because they do get kind of tedious when it comes to text. Like, I wish it wasn't that bad, but everything else, I think the feature is great. You know, I just feel like it should have been expanded a little bit more. Not a little bit, but like, you know, expanded more on freedom. That's the only aspect. But the ones that I get to play from fans that get really creative, like recently I played one that was based on Dragon Ball Daima's like ending, and they did like a what if story of it, and they didn't even really use any of the DLC. They just kind of made their own thing for the most part, using like, you know, NZ Goku and Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta from GT and stuff, and in replace of Goma they used Jiren. Like, it was cute. I liked it. It was really fun for the most part. So, like, that's just an example of a really cool one. Somebody made a Broly movie story, which was really fucking good. Again, I have those on my channel if you guys want to check them out or try them out, as long as they didn't delete them or if they got fucked up or removed via like updates or something. But I just hit my fucking hand. That hurts. So yeah, the custom battle mode is still a really cool feature. Again, we don't have something like this in any Dragon Ball game, to my knowledge. Like, I don't think they've ever delved into making your own kind of like stories for the most part. Like, this, to me, it's like if Mario Maker, you know, was like in Dragon Ball, for example, because, I mean, obviously, Mario Maker is like, you make your own level. So this is make your own battle, right? Like, what anime games, you know, have shit like this, right? We have custom characters and custom avatars, like all anime games. Like, there's so many anime games that have that, but like this was a cool idea, okay? And it was definitely more exciting before launch because I felt like there was going to be a lot more in terms of customization for it, but they still did pretty good overall, and hopefully I see this evolve and improve in the future as well, right? Good shit. So let's get some community feedback, okay? There are definitely going to be some smart asses, obviously, in these replies or even in my, you know, posts, whatever I did for my community page, like specifically, that are going to be like, oh yeah, one good thing I love about this game. Like, I already know, like, in, you know, take a shot anytime you see. One of my favorite things about this game is when I can exit out or turn the game off or get a refund on this game or some bullshit, like some stupid shit, right? So obviously I'm just going to kind of like, you know, skip over those. So I did say, for the most part, me personally, massive roster, iconic animations, which I forgot to point out. Yes, that as well. They have very, you know, overall animations for the most part are very good. They're I won't say on point, but they do reflect what happened in the series, and it gives you that good idea of everything. And again, compared to something like Xenoverse 2, Sparking Zero has so many new ones, right? So it's fun as fuck with the homies, and if you play it in that aspect, it's just great. In addition to sparking episodes, hype, right? Hype. Shoutouts to my boy Brandon here. I love the suspenseful gameplay between a constant back and forth like it's anybody's game, but most of all, I like it when I can enjoy a fight so much that I forget about winning or losing. To me, that is a great fight. Also can't get enough of those beam clashes. Like, yes, like genuinely, like no glazing. That dude, he pretty much, you know, said everything that I love about this game is if you're playing with homies, as long as it's not like some stupid online ranked cheese or bullshit, right? It feels like a Dragon Ball fight. And when I mean a DBZ fight, like a true DBZ fight, I mean it's back and forth. You don't know who's gonna win, right? It's not completely one-sided. Like, it's almost even. Maybe a hint of somebody get fucking up, right? And then it's like, okay, I know who's winning this one. But for the most part, like, it's great. And I love that he said he can enjoy a fight so much that he forgets about winning or losing, right? That's the essence, right? That's the essence of it. And I love hearing that. And of course, you know, beam clashes. High-speed fights, man, you can never get enough of them. It makes you feel like you are literally in the anime. Again, took the words right out of my fucking mouth, man. Yes, a couple of these here, you already know. I predicted the future. Rewind a couple of minutes and you see what I said, okay? Also, the what ifs absolutely make the story mode. Love going through doing the normal choices and then going back and doing all the what ifs. Yeah, this game's story mode, it excels. Like the what ifs carried the story mode in my opinion. They really did. Story mode was all right, you know. Definitely skipped around a lot with certain things. I don't want to get into that too much. I already, you know, talked about that for the most part. But yeah, what ifs definitely selling point for that. Free flow control system. Yes, dude. I feel like you compare it to Xenoverse 2, right? Still, I love Xenoverse 2. Great game, fun game. But when it's hard to go back to Xenoverse 2 after you play this fucking game, dog. I feel like I can do anything in this game. I have full control over combos. I can hit up, down with the combo. I can do side, go to the side, fucking grab. Like, I got it. I can do anything I want. I feel like I am Goku. I wish I was Goku. I could never be Goku. He thinks he's him. SLOplays. Fuck you, SLOplays. Android 17 and Android 18. Awesome, right? We have some characters that this dude loves. He loves the twins. Let's go. I love the roster and character design detail, SFX when fighting, the cinematics of fighting, and how responsive the game feels most of the time when fighting. I say most matches with bad connection feel not very well, but still better than most games with bad connection. Yes. I have so many, but it feels nostalgic in a way. Yeah, that's another thing. When I'm playing, again, the way I play the game is how I played in OG Tenkaichi, and that it makes it feel so good, right? Reminds me of a nice day playing between my dad, with my dad, and when I was younger and bought Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and played it for hours. Sadly passed away from cancer last June. Yo, Hellspawn, my condolences, brother. I am so sorry. I'm very sorry to hear about that, you know? That's sad, but hey, he's watching you, right? He's watching you play and enjoy this game. He said enjoy for the both of us, right? Why did my mouth slur when I said that? I do apologize. Whatever. Snowman here says visuals. Yeah, it's still a good looking game overall. Again, there may be some things that I don't like about certain characters that translate via like Shintani style or whatever, but for the most part, it's still fucking. We don't have Dragon Ball games that look this good these days, right? And yes, I know people will be like, oh, how's a mobile game like Dragon Ball Legends look better and all that stuff? Like, whatever. Like, overall, good-looking game overall. It's been fun playing the game with friends with a new coat of paint. Yeah, like, it feels like, again, you're playing OG Tenkaichi in 4K, 60 FPS, new models and everything. Yeah, definitely. Dream matches. I love this. Ultra Instinct Sign Goku versus Ultra... not Ultra. I think that's Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta. I guess. Whatever. Yeah, there you go. Another Budokai game actually exists in the year of our Lord 2025. I still think it is the most insane shit to think about that we have a modern-day Budokai Tenkaichi. I really never thought it was going to happen. Like, I really thought we were going to get Xenoverse 3 before this game, and they proved me the fuck wrong. I love almost everything about it, and only bad players are hating the game. I've never seen someone actually good just shit on it. I don't know if I can agree with that, right? I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but hey, they said they love almost everything about it, so that's good. You know, that's good that you are enjoying the game, okay? But yeah, Visuals and gameplay, absolutely. The SFX when fighting, absolutely. Again, for some people, maybe not the SFX. The cinematic quality of supers and ultimates, yes, absolutely, right? The game looks beautiful, and the transformations are goated, along with the feel of being in a Dragon Ball fight. See, everybody who says something good about this game, they all kind of, have come together with the same ideas, and it's what everybody likes, right? How immersive it is, making me feel like I'm actually a character that I'm playing as. Yes, right? Mochi here says custom battles. I love playing through everyone's different stories. It's a bit limited, but they are fun for me. Exactly what I said earlier, right? I wish there was a little bit more that you could do with it, but yeah. The transformations are sick. The story mode is atrocious. They gotta do better than that. I wouldn't say it's atrocious, but it's still, it's still fun for me overall. Visuals are A+, absolutely. Yeah, everybody for the most part, they kind of like the same stuff. What I'm generally what I'm seeing is that people just like having a definitive Dragon Ball experience, and for the most part, people have stated that, right? So I did it on my community page as well. This one right here, I did read this part. The feeling that every single battle brings, I feel like every battle is basically a real moment. The clip potential from this game is amazing. Absolutely agree with that. This second statement, I don't know what they're talking about here. The co-op battles are fantastic. Unless I'm remembering this game wrong, there was no co-op. That's like a criticism, is that we didn't have like a tag team feature. But they love completing the story, so yeah, absolutely. I like that you can just shut your brain off and have so much fun with all the absurdly overpowered characters and flashy transformations and skills. Like, that's what Dragon Ball, is to me. And I don't want people to take that as a negative thing. I want to have at least, okay, one anime. And when I say turn my brain off, it's not like I'm not completely like, not even paying attention, right? But no, when we say that, we mean like, it's just crazy fights, right? Crazy fights that we can really, really enjoy. Yes, I love a good story and even lore that, comes with the series, because there is some. But a lot of the things that I love the most about it is just seeing two dudes, two characters, do the craziest shit, blowing up planets, right? Just from fighting each other. All the crazy transformations, insane aura moments, insane hype moments. Like, do people not understand? I mean, these people do. But do some people who are like these like elitists, do they not get like, you can just have fun sometimes? Like, it doesn't have to be like, for example, like Solo Leveling. I just recently finished season 2 of that, and aura was up the ass. That shit was gas. Like, I don't want to say or go as far as to say that's one of the best anime I've ever seen, but man, it was really feeling that way when I was watching it. There was that final battle between Jinwoo and that fucking ant, and that shit looked like Goku versus Jiren. I'm not even joking. Go watch that shit. Like, it was like Goku versus Jiren with like even better animation, right? In my opinion, okay? You can disagree with me, but great series. If you haven't watched Solo Leveling and you like Dragon Ball, I would highly recommend Solo Leveling. Because that shit was fucking... Dude, I literally was painting my walls white. I'm not even joking. The walls, they were not white before. They were white after, dude. It was crazy. All right, whatever. But yeah, graphics, awesome. Fast-paced action, high-intensity matches, unpredictable outcomes, great graphics, and it's Dragon Ball. Oh, damn. My bad. It's more than one thing. Couldn't help it. Right? When I say one thing, I was just trying to be like, keep it general. But yeah, people are saying a lot more than just one thing, right? The whole foundation of sparking is incredible. For me, it's not just one thing that I love, because the controls, characters, visuals, mechanics, and all together make Tenkaichi what it is. It's still in its early stages and being the first Tenkaichis to get DLC and patches, and it's honestly not too bad, but I'm definitely curious to see the future of the game and content beyond Season 1. As I feel we will be surprised, Season 1 is full of character packs, so I'm feeling it's safe to assume that the other content will also come in categories. Costume theme, map pack theme, story theme. I don't know if there are game modes that will come as DLC, but we will see. Each patch keeps bringing in classic details back. And that's another thing, yeah. Again, people are not giving Spike and Bandai enough credit when it comes to that. Their patches have been very good for the most part for improvements and overall, stability with the game. I say that like I'm a Bandai, one of those Bandai people that type this shit up. overall general stability. I don't even know what the fuck that even means, so I shouldn't have even said that, but you know what I mean. Like, overall, yeah, I agree with this dude. Who knows, right? They call them character packs for at least the DLC pack 2, and DLC pack 3 is most likely going to just be a character pack as well. So the specific character pack, which is good because they don't want to be false advertising saying it's a pack and people are expecting stages and all this other shit. So don't expect any of that, honestly. Yeah, we could get shit like costume packs, map packs, story. Maybe. No promises, but I mean, the door is open. So yeah, I absolutely agree with everything my boy Trey said. Absolutely cooked. Absolutely cooked. Y'all cooked. Y'all cooked with your responses. I do appreciate everybody that tuned into these community, you know, responses and everything. You guys are awesome. And can I just say, I'm very grateful to y'all, my community in general. You know, despite what people say, despite what people, you know, do in terms of negativity towards Sparking Zero or myself or content creators or anything, I'm very grateful for the community that I have and the people that do fuck with my shit, right? If y'all actually genuinely fuck with my content, y'all are the real ones. You know who you are, okay? You know who you are. You guys are goats, right? I love you. So thanks for watching. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe here on the channel, ring my notification bell, and comment down below something that you like about this game. You know, it doesn't have to be glazing anything. Just say genuinely, this is something that I enjoyed about this game. That's it. All right? Peace out.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.